Hi everyone, I'm in my bedroom with my Nebraska shirt on. I kind of just wanted to talk about, I don't know exactly, but I've been feeling kind of just weird and sad, and I don't like this lighting, so we're gonna change it. I think it's my sister who closed this window. Is that better? Can you see everything now? All the texture on my face? Yeah, I feel really weird, and I'm very grateful for the sun, and I'm very grateful for everything, really. I don't think I felt this grateful of everything around me in, like, it's just been like a couple weeks. You know when it's just been a couple weeks? It's been a couple weeks. And I don't know, I'm just feeling like a big opportunity is coming. And I don't know if it's just for me or if it's for you too. So that's the only reason why I speak. Is the truth is I speak because I feel like I have to say something, but not because I want you to listen to me, but because I feel like I need to tell you something. And that's just how my brain operates, right? Like, I'm kind of writing for a poetry submission right now, and I need like 50 pages, right? And when I first saw it, it was really daunting. And I was like, 50 pages of my own poetry, that's insane. But then I kind of started to compile all my work from all my different places, like my notes app and my journal, and just the little scraps that I find when I write on things. I'm writing poetry all the time. I'm writing it all the time, and even when I'm not writing it, I'm thinking it. So then the 50 pages was like, oh, well then this is just like a task that I need to get done. This is just a thing I need to complete. I'm currently at 15. I'm currently at 15 pages. But it's really just taught me that what you are put here to do, you will do, right? And it's all about releasing the expectations that you have for what that's gonna look like and feel like and sound like and be, and just doing it. And my friends have helped me a lot in this. I don't think I would have been able to go down this path or even like have a creative path for myself if it wasn't for my friends. I mean, people I haven't even told this to. Like, it's just they've challenged me in such significant ways, and they've encouraged me in such significant, like, I actually can't even describe how important the people in my life have been in, I feel like, herding me to my divine placement, like where I was always supposed to be. I feel very reconnected to myself. I feel like I've kind of there's something that happened to me in my youth, I think just because of the way that I am, because I'm very sensitive. I felt like every single part of me had kind of been like I had exploded and I was all over the walls. And I've spent the last, when did Pluto enter Capricorn? 2008. Since 2008 to now, I've spent the years like wiping myself off the walls and like trying to decide like what parts of myself are still important to me. What parts of myself do I actually want to hold? What parts of myself do I want to stick back and claim as myself, right? And in doing that, it took me a long time because I had to kind of sift through a lot of stuff and a lot of programs and a lot of habits that weren't my own, and thoughts and beliefs that were not my own but were taught to me, right? And I had to kind of understand, where did that belief come from? Who gave me that? And yes, I love them, but I don't have to listen to that belief, right? Because something in it was telling me that's wrong. And I think that when you find your craft, if you're a creative person, and I hate this language of like, if you're a creative person, everyone's creative. Like, I just don't believe that there are some humans that can create and some humans that cannot create. I simply think it is your ability to listen to yourself and not be embarrassed to make something bad. I think that that prevents a lot of people from making at all or being themselves at all. I've had a lot of relationships in the past where the person that I met initially was so different from the person that I got to know. And I've been told before, and this is not a flex, bro, but I've been told before that when people meet me, they're like, oh, and when I used to post myself online, like on TikTok, people would tell me, oh my gosh, you are exactly like what you show online. And that would always just shock me, like, what else did you expect? What did you expect from me? Did you expect me to showcase anything other than what I think and feel and know to be true? Like, and then it got me thinking, you know, people really do have masks. People really do feel like they need to hide. People really do feel like their own self-expression is not important or valued or whatever, right? And that is obviously a byproduct of mechanisms up here, that it's not my job to unwork or whatever, but it's just something I've recognized, and it's made me very aware of my own creative process of like, oh, yes, I'm very genuine, yes, I'm very open, yes, I'm very blah blah blah, like my heart is exactly my heart is just on the table for everyone to access and examine and poke around. And I think that that's a lot, it's really scary to a lot of people that like I can just kind of like put it on the table and I'm like, yep, here, did you want some? Sure, like that's fine. Because even if you reject it, push it away, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Somebody else? Like, that's just how I've always been, right? And I think a lot of people are scared to do that. And I think when you start creating, you really get to know your own heart and you really get to know what's in there. What am I afraid of? What's stopping me from giving? What's stopping me from exposing my heart on a platter, actually, truly? Because you're just getting to know all of your idiosyncrasies and you're understanding your own mental processes and maybe your habits and what should be habits. And yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say. I just hope that, and I think that people get really caught up too in creativity. One more thing, I think a lot of people get caught up in creativity because they think to themselves, oh yeah, creativity is like painting. I'm not a painter, I'm not a writer, I'm not, you know, making candles. Girl, you don't have to do any of that. Being creative is simply believing that there is a different process than the one that we currently exist in. Being creative is imagining a world where things might be different. Creativity is the motivation of humanity, right? It's invention, it's creation. And you cannot tell me that there is not one thing that you've ever thought that was an original thought that was purely your creation. You cannot tell me that, because I do not believe you. Because when you were a child, there was something that you did, that you loved, that you practiced, that no one could ever understand but you. And then you never let that idea grow. You just decided that because it didn't look like what everybody else wanted to see, it didn't sound, it didn't read like everyone else was reading, you just moved on with everyone else. I think this is a little message for myself as well. I don't even know what it is. Actually, I do know, but I'll keep that to myself. I don't know how to say it in a kinder way, but you are the world that you make, right? You know, like my reality when I'm sad is my reality is sad. And I think that we live in such a privileged state when we look, if you're viewing this as an American at all, you operate from such a state of privilege. And privilege is a slippery slope, right? Because people get triggered when you mention their privilege, right? And I hate that these words are very synonymous with like online language, because it makes me feel and sound very like clickbaity, like, oh, did these things trigger your privilege, babe? But like, you know what I'm saying, like on a deeper level, when you mention privilege, when you mention what you have already to access and to give, as opposed to other people who are being manipulated and just absolutely ravaged, right? Like these people specific, like Sudan, Congo, Palestine, anywhere where we are actively, right, draining the life from people by choice. Our government is doing that by choice. That is a direct action, right? We need to recognize the privilege. And I think that just makes people uncomfortable. And it stops them from creating, but like that, that is humanity in a lot of ways. Not the destruction, not the pain, not the manipulation, not the genocide of an entire culture. That is not humanity, right? Humanity is the choice to create despite. That's why Palestinian people have made art all these years, beautiful, soul-crushing art, despite the fact that their government prevented them from even using the colors of the Palestinian flag. It is why art prevails over all timelines. Creativity prevails, innovation prevails, because we will always be thinking of a brighter future, of a better day. And you need to access that within yourself. I've accessed it. I found her. I was splattered on the walls, and I found her. And I know it's inside everyone. It's just this thing that feels like people are like, well, no, I could never. Get out a piece of paper and see what comes out. And make sure it's paper, because a lot of y'all are going to try to do this on a laptop, and I'm telling you, it is not going to work on a laptop. Typing, get that out of here. Typing, and maybe typing's your way, whatever, do whatever you want. Typing, girl, a pencil to a paper. Someone who understands the brain, get down in the comments and explain why I'm right, because I know I'm right. I just don't have the rhetorical devices currently. I don't have the words to explain how I'm right, but I know writing is better for you. So anyway, I got these tarot cards, okay? I don't actually know tarot cards very well, and that's why you're so like comfortable with me doing it, right? Right? No, I don't really do tarot cards. I do them for myself, but I don't really do them for other people. But I just got these really cool cards, and there's something about the emerald tablet, because the emerald tablet is what actually caused me to research these cards and this phenomenon. So anyway, if you haven't heard of the emerald tablet, go look it up. It's cool. It's like a combination of I have it in my journal. I'm actually not going to recite that information to you because that sounds so difficult right now. Nothing is coming out, so I don't think I need to give you a card. Yeah, look, you got so excited that I was going to give you a card, and then I didn't. And you know what? That's life. Okay? That's life. Sometimes you think something's going to happen, and then nothing happens. And then you just have to move on. So, yeah, you didn't get a card. But I care about you anyway. So move on.